So let's talk about some of Buhari's achievements. Buhari actually tried in the area of fertilizers, and his administration has been geared toward agriculture, and that is a very big kudos to the government. And they've actually helped in the ban of rice. So they've actually banned rice importation, and that has actually given the leverage to farmers. And another thing again that Buhari can actually boast about is the issue of railways. Apart from that, we can't really point to things that Buhari did, but Buhari also did a lot of things in the Anchors Borers program. Um, Buhari himself also did things like uh, Empower scheme. So by the time you talk about the Empower scheme, when you talk about the trader money, about trader money, when they give market to 10,000, if you can show something good of it, increase the money and all that. And then there is a comprehensive document, I think it's 40 pages, that highlights everything Buhari has done in office, from the way he constructed to the power dams to security to agriculture to the schools, to the feeding of kids, feeding of school kids. So Buhari's government has actually done a lot. They've actually done a lot if you look at it from some aspects. And then when you talk about the fight against corruption, Buhari government has been on the forefront. So when you look at it, you look at agric, you look at race, you look at the power dams, and then you look at the other part, you discover that the government has actually done some some things so far. But let's talk about some of the things Buhari's failure so far. Now, Buhari's government, a lot of scandals has actually rocked him, from personal life to his officials who are working with him to issues of nepotism and all that. When you look at Buhari, there are things that rock him, things like he has no wife, to issues like that we have a fake Buhari. So people are saying that we have a fake Buhari. The Buhari is there is Jubri, though we've not been able to prove that. And then to Buhari's failure to address via live television. I think the only live television program he actually honored was when he went to the National Assembly to present the budget. Apart from that, we only see recordings on Buhari, we only hear him speak through uh, his media aids and all that. So Buhari's government has been plagued with some failure so far. Now, when you look at the fight, you compare with the fight of Boko Haram so far, one begins to wonder how much has been done in Buhari's government. Boko Haram has been going to communities, hosting their flags, and kidnapping girls, and many things. You saw people from UNICEF. You saw a lot of people did that shit girls getting kidnapped. And then before I talk about Atiku, you talk about the things that plagues Buhari's government, things like nepotism. You talk about another thing that plagues Buhari government. You talk about things like the Amina Zakaris issue. Talk about him going back to things he actually said were not possible. Buhari had a stance when it comes to fuel subsidy, he said that was fraud. But when he came in, he actually implemented that. He talked about Buhari being linked with. I think Buhari government has had a lot of things, but he is saying he's coming back for the next tenure, and you already know that any governor or president or senator or local government chairman, everybody wants to serve 8 years. So when they go the first time, they don't tell you that, but they will tell you once they enter, they tell you we're not actually stepping down. So let's profile Atiku. So I obtained this from this Facebook user, and it says 24 reasons why Atiku must not be president. Greed. So he actually published something and he talks about that Atiku borrowed money from EcoBank and refused to pay back. So you can see what he wrote. Atiku took a loan from Bank PHB in 1998 of 300 million to run for the governorship of Adamawa when he was controversially declared the winner after becoming the vice president. The bank cancelled the loan. I think you should tell us what happened to the 7.5 billion naira failed Shoki Dam project, for which he brought contractor and supervised the project. What happened to the Jada federal government communication project awarded by Obasanjo under his supervision, which 4.5 billion naira went into a failed project? These are things that I think in our schools they are not teaching us history. The government has actually come to the point where they've succeeded, that they've taken history from our schools now. I think they've actually succeeded. They've done well to have taken history from our schools so that we will not know the good and the bad that actually happened in the past. How would they be teaching us history? Why those will teach us history and tell us that Buhari overthrew Shehu Shagari's government, right? And you teach us history and you tell us that MK and Bela actually won the election. No, they will not teach us history now. How would they teach us history? What about the abuse of office? Atiku posted that he was smart enough to set up Inters, which while he was a custom officer, Inters handles custom logistics and customer service within the same port. Now you have to look at this thing. These are not allegations. Atiku actually founded a company, and this company was operating inside the customs environment while Atiku was there, which was very, very illegal. And they said, okay, if this custom is taking your time, then why not we actually clear it for you? You know, there are things like there are allegations like Atiku is the one has a generator company. I can't really ascertain that, but I believe that the problem of Nigeria, many people have benefited from the problem of Nigeria. And that is one of the things I believe. Atiku's period as vice president witnessed the longest university closure due to ASU strike. Rather than solve the problem, Atiku seized the business opportunity to secure a university license for himself and make money from the problem. I told you, the problem of Nigeria, many people have benefited from it. Okay. According to WikiLeaks, quoting a member of Niger Delta Committee on Illegal Bunkering, Atiku used intent to perpetrate large-scale oil bunkering and arms dealing. What? Let's see. Some people said that Atiku is lying because he said I made my money by letting my first house in 19 and be the others. Let's see. So I sourced my wealth by acquiring 4 pickup vans on hire purchase and grew it into my transport business. The man was crying when he actually came. He was actually crying. I'll talk about Sowore later. They started selling firewood. Now, there are those in the US who said that maybe they've gone exam and they've used Atiku as a case study for corruption. If you look at the case, Atiku's fourth wife, Douglas, and there are many shenanigans that actually happen. That is something that Atiku has not really spoken about. There's a senator, is it Senator Bujuri or something like that? There's a senator that has been accused of drug dealing. US government accused him of drug dealing. And he has not cleared his name, but he's a senator. So I don't believe all these people. Okay, what about violence? According to WikiLeaks, quoting McAfee, former governor of Kaduna PDP, Atiku staged this Sharia riot that caused the burning of several buildings just to embarrass Obasanjo. No limits to his desperation. Okay, other atrocities. Remember the $17 billion spent on electricity? That is Nigerian new. $17 billion. Not the total for it. 58 years, we are still struggling. And their article is saying, Atiku owns the largest and the biggest generator importation business in Nigeria. How would he want PACN to work? Atiku has chairman presidential committee or council on privatization supervised the sale of government corporations to himself using cronies. He also promised to sell NPC and other remaining assets to his hands on. In 2018, Atiku was again spending an estimate of 9 billion naira to secure PDP nomination form, spending $5,000 per candidate. As a businessman, he will first look for where to recover the money, win or lose the election. Okay. Bamagan Tuko was one of the richest people in the Northeast with 2 shipping vessels on high seas. But just after 8 years as VP, Atiku not only became the richest in Adamawa and one of the richest in Nigeria, building 158 mansions in Nigeria. Why you may be saying these things cannot be, the claims cannot be fine-tuned. You want to be very careful because if you look at Buhari and Atiku, they bought ticket for Buhari, right? And he was crying. No, for Atiku, and he was crying. So, some are saying it's a religious bigot. I think religion is one of the Nigerians' problem. Religion should be put aside. And let's face political issues. And then you look at what his endorser said, which is the fact number 23. If with what I know I support Atiku for anything, God will not forgive me. If I do not know, yes, but once I know, Atiku can never enjoy my support. This is OBJ, August 3rd, 2018. But later, they led the committee and then they went. And then there are claims that what is told can actually feed a lot of Nigerians. And then you are wondering, why did I put this funny, funny picture there? Okay, so we knowing all these plenty things, and they are refusing to teach us history. What do we do? Should we fold our hands and say we are the leaders of tomorrow? So when is the tomorrow? I think the tomorrow is now. So we cannot fold our hands and wait for men like Buhari, who is, I think they're also having conference like if he's older than his sister or his sister is older than him and all that. We can't sit there and wait. Or we cannot sit there and wait for men like Dino. We don't know where Dino is, if he's been uh, uh, experiencing some political shenanigans and all that, or he's suffering from the consequences of his iniquity. Or should you fold our hands and say, whatever they want to do, like, let them do? Or should we be on the sidelines and be watching them, like this girl? Or we should be among those who are just reading the newspaper and laughing like stories, laughing out loud? Or we should be yawning? Or we should sit down and saying, oh, we should take, you should be engaged in sympathy, or there is something in Netherlands called sympathy. If you engage in sympathy while our country gets destroyed, you can see the Nigerian children. Or should we join this lady who, all through her government, her husband's government, she has been saying, oh, my husband, there are many people who are ruling the country and this and that, and my husband is not the one who is ruling the country. There are three men who is holding down the government of Nigeria and all that. She says something, and then the president comes and counteracts her. So we don't even know he's lying. But I know somebody is lying. Now she's campaigning for the husband. Then she will be the one tomorrow now to be saying there are men who are holding my government. Nigerians. Or should we vote for Atiku? Okay, it now calls for wisdom. You saw the picture why I put there. There is time for wisdom. The youths who are submitting themselves to be used by political people, as using them as talks, it's time for people to sit down and reason. What is the problem? How do we solve it? Those who are selling their votes. I'm not correcting a candidate for you. There are many people who are doing a lot of things. But it's time for us to actually review the political landscape and see. Politicians are not just politicians. They are like, we're talking about, okay, let's say for example, Nigeria is a company. Let's say Nigeria is a company and we all have stake in the company. So we are stakeholders in the company, right? So we should be very careful who we elect to the board of directors. We should be very careful who we elect as the CEO, who we actually take over the company. Because it is very, very critical. If not, some party will be there laughing at us that we are foolish, that we voted them into power. They were not going to see them in the next few years. So, whether Buhari comes or not, we don't want to cry like this fellow who is crying. Our soldiers, they don't have weapons at the front of the war. So, are we going to allow this to continue for how long? Should Boko Haram be killing our people? Should we vote Buhari come 2019? Do you have another candidate if we don't vote Buhari? I know you may say, oh, let's vote. Let's vote Sowore. Well, it's not that is this the time to vote Sowore? I think now is the time to actually vote Sowore. If you look at the football scene, Jose Mourinho has been complaining that I don't have players. And he keeps the best players on the bench. He keeps Pogba. He keeps the other players on the bench. But now there's an interim coach who is not on full contract, just for the time being. The coach has won nearly every game. And then you look, most of the times, the question is, are there no resources in Nigeria? There are resources in Nigeria. Well, when a leader comes, he knows fully well that he will inherit the blessings and the curses of the previous government. And that comes into power, rather than all up and say we have failed, and he has failed, he starts blaming the previous government. Listen, Buhari will leave power, even though he hands over to his own person. His own person wants to come and say this and that. So it's time for us to look back and look at the candidates that we actually have. If they actually worth it, to vote for them. If you are worth it, you vote for them. So if you're voting for Sowore, tell your others and let them vote.